Hello again, Falguni.
Hello again, Jeremy.
We've talked about this before, but this is quite a crucial time for businesses and their employees at the moment. And of course, we're still in a sort of state of flux, I think you might say, where a lot of us are thinking, well, it's all very well for lockdown down to be relaxed, but things are still happening with coronavirus. So, what has been your advice to companies in this sort of situation where their employees might be feeling a little bit concerned about coming back to work?
I think what's come out of this pandemic is that, leaders, business owners, CEOs have realized, how important it is to be kind and caring to your employees. And so what I've suggested to clients is that, as you say, this is not over. The virus is still very much with us. Even after a vaccine, it's still going to take time, and there might be lockdowns again. So you've got to make sure that your employees are well enough to continue working. Okay, and so it's incumbent upon leaders to be compassionate, and so to make sure that you are looking after not just the performance side of employees, but you're looking after their welfare. So it's about their lives as well. Because everything is connected. And so the sort of things that I've suggested to employees is, of course, allow employees to work from home where they're still worried about getting on public transport, they're vulnerable themselves, or they live with vulnerable people. So the flexible working has to be just open, and really understanding that this is going to stay with us now, I think, for the long term. One of the things I suggested to one of my clients was, offering some sort of telephone support on well-being. So they've put in place counselors that they can ring, employees can ring, and if they have any concerns, if they're feeling low, if they're just worried about something, they can pick up the phone and speak to somebody. It's confidential, but at least there's professional help there. I've also suggested, with clients that they still continue with the one-to-one meetings, or over the phone or over Zoom, whatever, with employees, so that any worries or concerns can be communicated and dealt with. And the other thing is also, ask your employees for feedback. How could the employer help them to make sure that that they continue working, and so the business work continues, but they're also looked after.
Fantastic. And so, in terms of the outcomes, what have you got back from your clients in terms of what they're telling you about the efficacy of this kind and compassionate approach?
They've had very positive reactions from employees. They really appreciate, all of these measures are put in place. They feel valued. They feel like they're being looked after, and I think it's going to result in loyalty as well. People will stay with them longer, because I think there was a time, and maybe some people are still doing it, that just paying lip service, that yes, we look after our employees, but I think that time has gone. You really genuinely have to look after your employees and care about them as you do yourself, because the success of your employees is going to result in the success of the enterprise. Okay, and so really taking that on board and stepping up as leaders, and having that compassion, as I say, is so important. And it was important anyway, because you're without a team, you don't have a business. They are your biggest assets, as cliche as that might sound. So it's really being proactive and making sure that, you know, as an employer, you are doing everything you can to look after your employees. And, you know, it's a two-way process. And if an employer will look after their employees, they're going to get, you know, the reciprocal loyalty from them, you know. And so we are in a different world. And I think what I have seen is that leaders, thankfully, have softened, and they can see the more human side of people.
It seems that the message from this, quite naturally, is kindness first.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you again, Falguni.
Thank you.